A to Z Mysteries The White Wolf by Ron Roy. Chapter 2. A minute later, Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose were standing on the dock with their backpacks. I have to fly some fishermen and women to a camp farther north, Walker told the kids as they got back in the plane. I'll see you guys tonight. Hey, welcome to Mount Desert Island, Wallace called as she ran toward them. Hi, Wallace, the kids shouted. Then each gave her a hug. Grab your stuff and follow me, she said. Wallace led them up the dock and stopped in front of the girl in the wheelchair. Abby, these are my friends from Connecticut. Dink, Josh, Ruth, Rose, Wallace said, pointing to each of them. Meet my daughter, Abigail. She likes to be called Abby, with an I. Josh stared at Wallace. You never told us you had a daughter, he said. Abby laughed. Mom just adopted me a few months ago, she said. Abby's parents died a few years back. Wallace explained. I heard about Abby from a friend, so I invited her and some other kids to the castle for Christmas. Wallace grinned at her daughter. After knowing Abby for only an hour, I knew I wanted her in my life permanently, she said. That's so awesome, Ruth Rose said. How old are you, Abby? Almost 13, Abby said. How about you? We are almost 9, Dink put in. Josh shook Abby's hand. Why are you in a wheelchair? He asked. I have spina bifida, said Abby. What's that? Josh asked. Before I was born, when I was still inside my birth mother, my spine didn't develop right, Abby explained to the kids. So my legs don't work. I have to use a wheelchair most of the time. Well, now that you've all met, let's get up, Wallace said. If I know these 3 kids, they're hungry. She started walking toward the parking lot. Josh sure is, Dink teased. His stomach was growling so loud, Walker thought there was a wolf in the plane. There are wolves on the island, Abby said. I've seen them through my telescope. Wolves? Josh gulped. Really? Wallace stopped next to a red van. She clicked the remote, which opened the door and lowered the ramp. Abby wheeled her chair up the ramp and into the van. That's so cool, Ruth Rose said. Wallace unlocked the other doors and the kids piled in. Ruth Rose and Josh sat in the rear with Abby, and Dink sat up front with Wallace. They drove along a road lined with tall pine trees. Through the branches, Dink caught glimpses of sky and water. After a few minutes, Wallace pulled off the road onto a bumpy driveway. There it is, Wallace said, pointing to a long, shady cabin. She parked next to a flagpole flying an American flag. The low building nestled beneath sweet-smelling pine trees. Wooden steps led up to a roofed deck that circled the entire cabin. Beside the steps was a ramp that sloped up to the deck. I love your house, Ruth Rose said as they got out of the van. It's so cool and quiet here. I usually wheel myself up the ramp, Abby said, but it's more fun to have someone push me. I'll do it, Josh said. He guided the wheelchair up the wooden ramp with the others following. Do you want to see the wolves? Abby asked. Where are they? Josh asked. He looked around the deck nervously. Over here, Abby said. She guided her wheelchair across the deck to a telescope. Take a look, but don't jiggle it. I have it set right on the wolf's lair. Josh walked over to the telescope, squinted one eye, and peered into the lens. All I see are rocks and bushes. Keep looking, Abby said. I saw the wolf just before Mom and I went to meet you guys. Josh kept his eyes on the telescope lens. Suddenly, he jumped back. Holy moly, he shouted. What? Dink said. He and Ruth Rose hurried to join Josh and Abby at the telescope. I just saw a gigantic white wolf, Josh said.